NBA season finally starts today, and right before it starts, you already know I have to come out with my full prediction video in case you didn't have the time to watch the hours of me rambling about NBA teams. Now I think about it, it's probably about maybe 4 to 5 hours of me just talking, straight up talking about each NBA team. And that takes a while to watch. So if you watched all those videos, then good job, man. You have dedication. Now with these predictions, I'm gonna start with my standings predictions, my full standings predictions. Then I'm gonna go to my all-star predictions. I'm gonna go to my all NBA team and stuff predictions, and lastly my award predictions. So here we go. We're gonna start with standings. In the East, I'm gonna just say them all in order. Nets 60-22, Bucks 55-27, Heat 53-29, Sixers and Hawks tied 50-32, Knicks 47-35, Celtics 46-36, Bulls 45-37, Pacers 41-41, Wizards 38-44, Raptors and Hornets tied 35-47, Cavs 30-52, Magic 22-60, Pistons 18-64. That was not top to bottom. In the West, Lakers 58-24, Suns 54-28, Jazz 52-30, Clippers 50-32, Nuggets 48-34, Mavericks 47-35, Blazers 45-37, Warriors 42-40, Pelicans 38-44, Timberwolves 35-47, Grizzlies 34-48, Kings 30-52, Spurs 27-55, Rocket Thunder 25-57, Rockets 20-62. I had projected the Nets to be the best team record-wise and the Pistons to be the worst team record-wise in the whole league. And some changes I probably would have made now looking back at it. I might have made the Hornets a bit better than the Wizards and the Raptors, maybe the 10 seed, and then made the Raptors or Wizards 11th to 12th in whatever order. And then another change I probably would have made is moving the Clippers, switching them with the Nuggets just a bit down, because I still think PG is going to have a great season, but it's Jokic, so of course he's probably going to have a 50-win season. But I just considered the fact that Jamal Murray wasn't there. But then again, for the Clippers, Kawhi isn't there. And it's interesting to contemplate if a Kawhi-less Clippers is better than a Murray-less Nuggets. That's a pretty interesting question. We could have gotten the answer to it in this year's playoffs, but the Nuggets got swept, so we never got to see that. We might get to see it this year, but who knows. If you have any questions about that whole prediction thing, or all those standings, then comment down below. There's a pretty high chance that I'm gonna reply. So yeah. Moving on. Also, I probably would have had the Warriors a bit better than the Blazers. Because I think that the Warriors are gonna be a bit better after nowadays. But maybe it's still a pretty reasonable spot for them. A lot of people say they're gonna have 50 wins. If you think about it, Steph Curry it's pretty much the same team except adding Otto Porter and Andre Iguodala. And Iggy and Andre Iguodala aren't bringing you from a 9 seed all the way up to a 3 seed. Clay will come back, yes, but that's not until later in the year. They're probably gonna have a rough start. So that's the main reason I put them there, in case you were wondering. And if you're wondering about the reason I put the Clippers so high, I can't go into it right now fully. Just watch that Clippers video I uploaded. Go back into the go back into the whole go back onto my channel page, look through all the videos. You'll find the Clippers one, and yeah. Now, like I said before, if you have any questions about the standings, just comment down below and I'll probably answer you. Anyways, now the all-star predictions. For starters, for the all-star starters in the East, I have James Harden, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, and Kyrie Irving, but I put an asterisk beside Kyrie Irving's name, considering he might not even play this year, so I don't even know if he's going to be able to even play any games to make an all-star team. So if Kyrie Irving does end up not playing, then it will be probably Trae Young. In the West, my projected starters are Curry, Lillard, LeBron, Jokic, and AD. I'm pretty sure those are the same ones that were there in 2020. So, but if you think about it, or 2021, but if you think about it, it really makes sense. But was AD there in the 2021 All-Star game? I really forgot. No, wait, it was Team LeBron versus Team Curry, and Team KD. KD had Dame. No, he had originally Kyrie, Harden, and a bunch of other guys, but then he couldn't play, so it was Zion, Tatum. I forgot who else was on that team. Anyways, I'm not talking about last year. I'm talking about 2022. So, for the East bench, I had Trae Young if Kyrie plays, Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine, Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Jalen Brown. And if Kyrie doesn't play, there are actually a few really good options here, but I had to go with LaMelo Ball, considering Malcolm Brogdon and Fred VanVleet were the guys I considered, but on the Raptors, Fred VanVleet's not the main guy. He's going to be one of the main guys, but it's mainly Siakam and OG who are probably going to do a lot of scoring. VanVleet's most likely going to be the leader who does a lot of playmaking and stuff. When it comes to the Pacers, Malcolm Brogdon isn't the only one who's like there. They also got Sabonis. They also got T.J. Warren, Chris LeVert, Miles. They got a lot of other guys who might take up the spotlight. And then when it comes to the Hornets, they do have Gordon Hayward, but he's not as much of a spotlight stealer as Siakam or Sabonis is. So, I think that LaMelo has the highest chances. Also considering he's younger than both of these guys, and that makes him more likely to, get better this year. So, yeah. And then off the bench in the West, I have, actually I'm probably, just so you guys know, I would rather have Dame as the start, have Luka as the starter, not Dame, because Luka, in my opinion, is going to have an MVP year this year, or an MVP type year this year. I'm not going to give my full MVP standings. You guys probably already know who my pick is, but I'm not going to give it out until the actual awards section of this video. But continuing on, probably going to be Dame, D-Book, Donovan Mitchell, Paul George, Zion, Rudy Gobert, Karl-Anthony Towns. And yeah, Luka's probably going to be starting, not Dame. My bad. Moving on, the snubs from the All-Star team, or All-Star teams, I think are going to be, hold up, I got to make a quick change. Who did I originally take off this list? Who did I take off this list? Oh, yeah, okay. So, originally I did have Vucevic making the All-Star game over Adebayo, but then I changed it mainly because of Adebayo's defense and his youth. Yeah, and that youth really means he's probably going to get better. But anyways, snubs in the East, Fred VanVleet, Nikola Vucevic, Domantas Sabonis, and Malcolm Brogdon. In the West, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, Ja Morant, De'Aaron Fox. I think DeAndre Ayton he's very close. He could definitely make it over Cat, but I think that Cat should be making it. He should be making it. If he doesn't make it, then DeAndre Ayton's definitely going to make it. Chris Paul, I don't think he's going to make it because there's only 5 guard spots. Curry, Luka, and Lillard are obvious locks. And then D-Book Devin Booker just had an amazing season. You're not picking Chris Paul over Booker, and you're not. I don't know if you're picking. You could pick Chris Paul over Mitchell, but I think Chris Paul might regress a bit this year, and Mitchell is also still young, which means he might get a little better. So of course, you know, at the end of the day, Chris Paul made enough All-Star games. If there is an injury replacement, then that probably means Chris Paul is gonna play. Like, the first option injury replacement in the West is Chris Paul, and in the East is probably Vucevic. But yeah, those are my All-Star teams. If you haven't, just like for the standings, if you have any questions, comment down below. I'm happy to answer your guys' questions. Moving on to the all blank teams. Well, it's really like all NBA team. People say all NBA teams, but it's not just all NBA teams. It's also all defensive teams and all rookie teams. Starting with my all NBA team predictions. My predictions for the first team is Curry, Luka, Giannis, Tatum, and Embiid. Second team, Dame, Trey, PG, KD, and Jokic. Third team, Kyrie, if he plays. Beal, LeBron, AD, Adebayo. And then my first snub team, Harden, Booker, Zion, Jimmy, and Rudy. My second snub team, Mitchell, Levine, Jalen Brown, Sabonis, and Vucevic. My second snub team isn't really a snub team. It's just a team where I could put guys who I wish were on the list, kind of. You know? Also guys who just deserve to be recognized. Because I couldn't leave guys like Vucevic and Mitchell out of the contention. Because those guys still have a decent chance to make it chance to make it to these teams. Also, one notable thing that you may have noticed is I didn't put Harden on the teams. Originally, I had Harden on the second team, I think, but I took him off mainly because of the fact that he's probably going to be passing a lot more than we've seen from him in his past years. Well, not really a lot more, but like he's gonna be the facilitator for this team, and he might not be getting his touches as much, or his points at least. He's gonna get touches. He's just not gonna get as many points as he used to. So that might mean, less NBA team votes. And if Kyrie, KD, and the team as a whole get better because of that, I think James Harden's happy with that. Moving on, all defensive teams. For the first team, I project it to be Drew Holiday, Ben Simmons. I know he's going to play, by the way, because I saw him in the photos with him at the Sixers practice. OG Anunoby. This might be me being a biased Raptors fan, but I don't care. Giannis and DeAndre Ayton. For the second team, Davion Mitchell, Patrick Beverley, Patrick Williams, Paul George, and Rudy Gobert. And then the snub team, Matisse Thybulle, Lonzo Ball, PJ Tucker, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. Kind of funny how 3 guys in the snub team are on the Heat. And it's pretty much like I don't like the Heat, but I don't dislike them enough to not put them there, Yeah. Anyways, I might talk a bit about a lot of this stuff later. So, be ready for that, but I'm waiting until I actually do the award prediction reveal, so that y'all can actually understand everything. Moving on. All rookie teams. For the first team, I think it'll be Jalen Greene, Scotty Barnes, Cam Thomas, Cade Cunningham, and Josh Giddey. Second team, I'm projecting Evan Mobley, Jalen Suggs, James Bouknight, Sharif Cooper, and Davion Mitchell. And the snub team, Josh Primo, Jalen Johnson, Delano Banton, yes, I'm a Raptors fan, Kai Jones, and Josh Christopher. So honestly, these rookies are going to be interesting to watch. And let's start by saying I think that Jalen Greene will win the Rookie of the Year for 2022 season. Or 2021-2022 season. Jalen Greene has shown a lot to me in this preseason and in college, and the clips I've seen of him. He looks like a pretty good rookie already. Even in preseason, when you saw a clip of him crossing up Kyle Kuzma, he looks good, especially beside KPJ, Kevin Porter Jr. in the backcourt. That actually looks really nice. Now, moving on to Sixth Man of the Year. I don't really have many strong, bold predictions for this, except kinda Tyrese Maxey, because I think if with Ben starting, or if the guy who they trade Ben for starting and Tyrese coming out the bench is that spark plug, I think that could actually be really good dynamic that happens over there. I think it could be really nice, and I think that it could work with this. It could work with this team. Maybe I don't even know actually. Maybe it makes the whole Ben Simmons situation worse, showing how people. Yo, every few seconds I just like completely space out and forget what I was talking about. You know what? Forget that. My picks for Sixth Man of the Year: Jordan Clarkson, Derrick Rose, Tyrese Maxey, Joe Ingles, and Cameron Johnson. I don't really have anything to say about that, by the way. Most Improved: OG Anunoby, Michael Porter Jr., Terrence Mann, DeJounte Murray, and Patrick Williams. Each of these guys has their own reason, except really Patrick Williams. With OG, Kyle Lowry left, so there's more space opened up on the floor for him to score. Or more space opened up for, you know what I mean. Then, with the Nuggets, Jamal Murray's out, so somebody needs to step up. With the Clippers, of course, Kawhi's out, so somebody needs to step up. With the Spurs, DeMar is gone, so somebody needs to step up. And for the Bulls, I really don't know. I just thought Patrick Williams would be an interesting guy to have on here. He could have an interesting year, so you never know. That one was really for Kenny. That was really for Kenny. Moving on. The Defensive Player of the Year. Actually, I haven't talked about Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year. My candidates were Steve Nash, Frank Vogel, Monty Williams, Eric Spoelstra, and Jason Kidd. Steve Nash because he's the coach for the Nets, and the Nets are really good. Frank Vogel because he's the coach for the Lakers, and the Lakers are really good. Monty Williams because he's the coach for the Suns, and the Suns are really good. Eric Spoelstra because literally that team defensively is scary, and I want to see what Eric Spoelstra does with that. And Jason Kidd, he is the coach of the team that has Luka Doncic, and Luka Doncic is Luka Doncic. So I don't really think there's much to question here. Next, the Defensive Player of the Year. My first pick is actually DeAndre Ayton. I think this year, Rudy Gobert will get caught by the effects of voters fatigue, and people won't want him to be the DPOY conversation anymore, because he's been in there so many times that it's gotten outdated and overplayed. And it's kind of like how LeBron could have won an MVP every year he was in the league since like 2004, 2005. But no, 2004 was rookie year. 2005. Well, technically he was rookie year, but you know what I mean. He could have won an MVP for every year since like 2006, 2005. Yeah, I was just making sure what I said was correct. But because of voters fatigue, that didn't happen. Same thing for Rudy this year. I think he's gonna play. He's still a good defender. He's still gonna play good defense. It's just he's not gonna be the Defensive Player of the Year. He might not be in the conversation because of voters fatigue. So, moving on. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the other guys. I have DeAndre Ayton first, Ben Simmons second, because Ben almost won it last year, and he's probably almost gonna win it this year again, unless some big drama happens and it just ruins his whole little career. Rudy Gobert is third, Bam is fourth, and Embiid is fifth. I don't know if I actually told you that already, but if you didn't know, now you know. Okay. Next up, the MVP race. The most important award out of all of them. So you got Luka, you got Embiid, you got Tatum, you got MVP G13, and you got Steph. And you think that if you had all a possible MVP candidate at each position needed for the All NBA teams, you think that they would all the 5 MVP candidates would be in the All NBA first team, but nope, you're wrong, because I don't think I think Paul George has a lower chance with Giannis of making the All NBA first team, but he does have a higher chance of winning MVP, and it makes no sense whatsoever. But if you don't think about it, that's what it makes more. Okay, you know what? Why am I still talking? My point is, Paul George is. I think that he's gonna have a breakout year without Kawhi. You know, I read a comment where one of you guys' comments. You said that my head is spinning, and I probably should write a script for these. You're probably right, because right now this video is just going down the drain. I've had to stop every few minutes and be like, what am I doing, and cut stuff out. I've actually had to cut stuff out of this video. It's good that I'm actually cutting stuff out, but at the same time, you know, I'm known for not cutting stuff out. So, anyways, you know what? You know what I want. You know what I want to say. Luka's probably going to be MVP. Jalen Greene is probably going to be Rookie of the Year. Sixth Man of the Year, Jordan Clarkson. DPOY, DeAndre Ayton. Most Improved, OG Anunoby. And Coach of the Year, Steve Nash. Those are my award picks. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please comment them down below, because I'm open to answer any questions that you have. And honestly, I think that's it. This is a 20-minute video, by the way. This is crazy. Probably the longest prediction video I made this year. But I am so glad that it's over. And no, don't get me wrong. I'm not just quitting on this channel. I'm going to be starting a new little mini-series where every week, every Sunday, I'm going to talk about what happened in the past week. We're going to have weekly MVPs, weekly rookie of the weeks. We're going to have all sorts of stuff. It's going to be great. So be ready for that. Stay tuned. The NBA season starts today. So be happy, rejoice, chill with family. Not really friends because of COVID, but yeah. Be happy because the NBA is back. So that will be it for me today. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, share, comment on any tips, tricks, or topics you have me to talk about on this channel. That will be for me today. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.